Another day, another puzzling roster decision made for Brooklyn Nets general manager Sean Marks. The Brooklyn Nets roster is finalized officially here, folks, and there are certainly a lot of decisions that make no sense, a lot of decisions that we're here to criticize, and we want to hear your thoughts as well. What is going on, everyone? Welcome into the Brooklyn Boys Show, to the BK Nothing But Nets podcast. Thank you for joining us right here live on this Sunday evening, October 19th, 2025. Be sure to drop down below, smash that like button, and hit subscribe. That is the free way to support us. Be sure to subscribe to both of our channels if you haven't already. Gary's, of course, the BK Nothing But Nets podcast. Mine, the Brooklyn Boys Show. Questions, comments, thoughts, throw all of those in the chat. We're going to get to those shortly. We want to engage with you. We want to hear what you have to say. So load all your thoughts up in the chat. Gary, are Jets loose? To no surprise, dropping
your Jets. Those are your boys. I'm done until Aaron Glenn gets fired. I say that, but I'll be watching again by halftime of next week. I'll be watching.
That's Net fans. That's Jet fans. That's every fan of the suffering.
But those are your boys. The Nets. The Nets are my. I live and die with the Nets. That's my A1 team.
So
your team. If you could only see one team win a championship in your whole life, you would pick the Jets, right?
Yeah,
I would pick the Nets.
I just think the Super Bowl, and there's nothing against the NBA. I think a Super Bowl carries more weight than an NBA championship. That's me personally. Like, I
agree.
think
it's the biggest sporting event in the country by a mile. I agree. That being said, I love the Nets that much.
I respect it, absolutely. I'm just one. The Jets win a Super Bowl, you can kill me. I'm perfectly fine. I'm living to see.
You're 14. Don't say that. You got so much to do in your life. But I would say the Jets.
Well, I'm not winning the Super Bowl till I'm on my deathbed, if that. So we'll throw that in
there. It doesn't look it like all it would take with Woody Johnson selling the team, and then everything would change, right? Once you get rid of Woody and get a new ownership, because football is trickled down, right? You get the right owner who hires a good GM, who hires a good coach and draft good players, and the coach hires good coordinators, and the coach and the coordinators coach up the good players who you drafted, and bang, you have a winning. But it all starts, you know what I'm saying? It's all the owner hires the GM hires the coach hires the assistants coach up the players. The Jets fail before it starts. They fail at the top, and that's why they're always in this position.
And Gary, I think if Woody Johnson was a general manager, he'd be just as good as Sean Marks is, because boy, oh boy.
That's a good transition, Connor. That's a good transition. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Gary. We try to find out and investigate and analyze what this team is doing every day. It's a new move, and it's like, all right, maybe it's this direction. Maybe this is the path that they're trying to go down. And then the next day, a move that completely contradicts that. And then that has been the repeating cycle for these past few months, for these past few years, even taking 5 rookies in the draft, rostering Jalen Wilson, rostering a player like Tyrese Martin as well. It's just so hard to pick apart. All right, what is this team even trying to do right now? We don't know the answer to that. And Brooklyn made another very interesting move today, officially waiving, moving on from releasing former first-round pick Kobe Buffkin. Now, this is someone Brooklyn acquired just about a few months back, and was a player who was acquired for literally nothing. He was acquired for cash considerations, and us Net fans were excited about Buffkin, and I think rightfully so. This is a guy who obviously had a high draft pedigree for a reason, and he came in a Nets organization that is prioritizing a youth movement, and we initially thought, all right, this is someone who can carve out a rotational role. Now you fast forward about a month later, he's not even on the roster. Gary, thoughts initially on this move? Nets officially waiving guard Kobe Buffkin. I know we spoke about it last night. I mentioned Buffkin as a possibility to be waived. Ultimately, that comes to fruition today.
So first of all, I'm going to start with this. I absolutely hate it. I think it makes no sense. He's a guy that was in a crowded backcourt with Atlanta. He never really got much of a chance to play. This was his chance. He's still very young. There's upside. Like most of what I remember, or all of what I remember about Kobe Buffkin is at Michigan. I don't really remember seeing him play too much in a Hawks uniform. I can't really picture it. So like there's a guy with upside. He was considered going into that year a lottery type talent. So I wanted to see, like, I don't see any use in letting Tyrese Martin play. I don't see any use in letting him play. And those guys were on non-guaranteed contracts. The only thing that makes sense to me is this is a salary cap, an attempt to hit the basement floor, right? Because you're cutting a guy whose contract is guaranteed, then you execute the contract of the other two guys who are non-guaranteed, and you get closer to the floor. To me, this is not good. There's no upside in this, right? Like Kobe Buffkin was a talent. Whether or not he's ever going to be an NBA player, a good NBA player, is yet to be determined. And now it won't be determined here. I don't see any downside in having him on the roster. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any downside to having him on the roster. Absolutely. And let me add this. This is a move that costs the Nets some money, mind
That's
you.
why they did it. But I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
No problem. No problem. They owe him over $5 million now. So it's kind of like they could have kept him and still paid him that money. Like, that doesn't matter. They're paying him to do nothing now. So, Gary, if they kept him on the roster, they would have been able to still reach the salary floor. But now you're just blatantly moving off from a guy who, again, there's that bit of that unknown. There's that unknown upside there, potentially that ceiling that we haven't seen yet. And now the Nets are paying him $4 million for him to sit on his couch and do nothing. And someone who will be on this Brooklyn Nets roster over Kobe Buffkin, another guy that makes no sense to me, Jalen Wilson. Of course, that made official today. And speaking with me on the podcast last week, Jake Fisher, the People's Insider, told me that it was because of Wilson's character, and that's the main reason that he's sticking around in Brooklyn, and that's the reason that he's on the roster now for the third year in a row. I'm tired of character. I get it. Jordi Fernandez wants to build a culture. He wants to have leaders on the floor. But at the end of the day, Jalen Wilson is an NBA player. Kobe Buffkin is, and I think he got shafted of a roster spot.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. Like, we can love Jalen. I like Jalen Wilson. Jalen Wilson's from Denton, Texas, about 10 minutes away from me. I wanted him to work out. I really did. He didn't work out. He's got good character. Awesome. What does that mean, though? What does that mean to me in terms of he's not a good basketball player? He's a great guy. Extraordinary. Why do I care? Like, if you can play ball, then great. That's a plus. But if you can't, I don't care. Like, Tim Tebow was one of the greatest guys I've ever met. You old enough to remember Tim Tebow? You're not, right?
No, I remember Tim Tebow playing for the Mets, not the Jets, though.
The greatest guy in the world. Did you want to play a quarterback for your team? Absolutely not. He came in for Mark Sanchez, one set of downs, like, oh my God, get him off the field. Get him off the field.
Yeah.
But he's a great guy, a great character guy. I'm sure they loved him in the locker room. What is that? Like, if you can't play, it doesn't matter, right? Like, he's a great character guy. I don't care, right? Like, I don't care at all.
Exactly.
Unless you can play. If you can play, it's a bonus. But if you can't play, I'm a good character guy. They'll like me, bring me in. Let me have a roster spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think you're rostering Jalen Wilson. You have to wonder, how much is he going to contribute? How many minutes is he going to get on this team? There's a total logjam at his position. And, like, we're going to be really frustrated if it gets to a point where Jalen Wilson's playing 20 minutes a night and that's taking away from Drake Powell's minutes, or some of these guys who are actually young and ascending, guys who have a future on this Brooklyn Nets team. Someone who plays the same position, that same area, that 3-4 range that Jalen Wilson does, is Haywood Highsmith. And he told Brian Lewis at Media Day that he was expecting to be ready for the start of the year. Now the report comes out. He suffered another setback. He's not expected to be ready to go until January. They're going to reevaluate him in 8 weeks. What's the future like for Haywood Highsmith in Brooklyn, Gary?
Well, like you said, I'm glad you brought this up. I mean, they want to trade him for a second-round pick. That's their big goal for him. Okay? Like, they should still be able to do that.
They have to play him, though. You can't just trade that.
I agree with you. They have to play him. And now we've just moved that back 8 weeks. So now we're looking, you want to play him for at least a month. So at a bare bone, and it's not that he's back in 8 weeks. He's going to be reevaluated in 8 weeks. So
he's not going to be back until January.
Yeah. Right. So now you play him for a month and then trade him at the deadline I would have just cut him. This is not worth all of the.
This is like the Bojan Bogdanovic. stuff. Like it's again, the drama is not worth the not worth the prize at the end of the rainbow.
So
Like
it's not that all the hassle isn't worth a second round pick, which we have.
Yeah,
by the
17
boatload. Yeah, it's not. We have too many second round picks to start with. Adding another one, it's overkill already. It's like, I know you like second round picks, but god dang, guy.
Like, I think the Nets vision, what it should be with all these second round picks, is package like 7 of them together and get like a back end of the first round pick. Like, just do that. You can't draft 36 players over the next 7 years.
What you can do with the second round, if there's a team that's around the second apron, or at least the first apron team, right? And they're contending and they don't really have roster spots. If they have a late first round pick, like a team like the Nuggets or something like that. And so let's say they're drafting 27 and you have 2 picks in the second round, 31 and 39, right? Those are non-guaranteed spots. They also make a lot less money, right? So I'll give you a 31 and 39. You give me 27. If you don't like the guys at 31 and 39, you don't have to pay them. You can cut them. You can do that, right? And then so it doesn't eat up a roster spot, and it doesn't. The second round picks don't eat up a guaranteed roster spot unless you want them, and they cost no salary to minimal salary if you do keep them. That's the upside of having second round picks if you're a contending team. So, like, is that what the Nets are looking to do? Like, combine second round picks to move into late first round? Maybe. If that's what we're looking to do, we already have plenty of second round picks to do that. Like, we have a boatload of second round picks, which are the equivalent of 7th round picks in the NFL. It's like, okay, maybe one of them hits, but most of them are going to miss. Like, yes, you get Jalen Brunson and you get Claxton and you get Joker, right? And Ginobili, but that's every once in a great while. Most of them are Jalen Wilson.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I just question what this team is doing. What's their thought process? What is their long-term vision? Like, you took 5 rookies. Now you're cutting guys who have high ceilings, who you don't know what they are and you can experiment with. Like, what are they thinking here? What is the plan? And they're not firing Sean Marks anytime soon. I'll tell you that right now, Gary. This is a multi-year rebuild. They've already gone in with Sean Marks. He's their general manager. No team changes their general manager during an overhaul like this. He's going to be here.
This is why I said over and over again, you had to fire Sean Marks before you made these picks. Before you made them. You couldn't let Marks be involved in this. Now you got to let him see it through fruition, which you know it's not going to work out because he's horrible.
Exactly. Like, this is ownership. Like, this ownership group is really bad. Like, I don't think enough people talk about this. This ownership group, the Tsai family, they're bad. Like, they're not Woody Johnson or Jerry Jones bad, to put it into NFL terms, but they're not good. They're in the bottom half of the NBA. Absolutely. Sure. Like, someone who covers the Nets, or if you ask like a beat reporter about, they've grown those sports so much internationally. I don't care about that. I'm a Nets fan. Yeah. I want them to win basketball games. I don't care how much you've played, how much of a role you've played in getting NBA games in China. I really, really don't at the end of the day. I want this team to win. I want them to win basketball games, and they haven't gotten a decision right really since the early 2000s. It's been terrible.
Yeah. You weren't even alive back then. I mean, your dad was a kid the last time the Nets were.
My dad's not even fan, yeah.
There you go. There you go. I was 18 years old when the Nets traded for Kidd. I'm 42 now, so that shows you how long ago that was. And they've not been to it. They haven't been out of the second round of the playoffs since Jason Kidd's second year here. It's been like a lot of misery. And you look at the ownership group and you're right. It's like, how is this going to get better? And like Sean Marks is the longest tenured GM other than like Pat Riley and Sam Presti. Like after those guys, after those Hall of Fame legendary guys,
and the Celtics guy, their GM.
No, because they just fired Ainge a few years ago. I mean, they didn't fire Ainge. Quit a few years ago.
I'm trying to think. Longest tenured. There's
GM. He's third. I'm almost positive he's third.
I'm trying to see right now.
Popovich. Are we counting Popovich as the GM?
Pop is he's fifth. The Raptors guy. or Urgi, Presti, Riley, and Pop.
Yeah. Okay. 3 legendary Hall of Fame basketball guys.
And Sean Marks.
And Sean Marks, who's horrible.
Yeah.
Like what? Who does he have pictures of? What did he witness? Like what does he know that you can't fire him? Like what does he have on you? I guess is my question. Because it's got nothing to do with basketball at this point. Like, every move he makes is wrong.
Put anyone in there. Promote BJ Johnson from being your assistant GM. Like,
all right,
anyone is better than this guy. Anyone. You flip a coin on a 50-50 decision. Heads as he nails it, tails as he fails it. It's landing on tails every time with Sean Marks.
I said, let me and Dylan do it, and we'll split half of what you pay Sean Marks. So whatever you pay Sean Marks, cut that number in half, and then me and Dylan will split that number. How's that? And we'll do it.
Product wouldn't be as bad. Josiah would
be way better. It'd be way better. Like it'd be way better. Way better. This is. I don't understand what this. I don't see a blueprint for winning. Like if I said to you, what's the blueprint here? Show me what you're trying to. Whether or not it works out, we don't know yet. But show me the blueprint of what you're trying to execute here. I feel like he would sit there and shrug his shoulders. It's like, I don't know. Like it doesn't. Last year when we made the Bridges trade, he said this is a 1-year rebuild, and then we're going to compete next year. Now this year is more of a tank year than last year. But then why you like none of this makes any sense to me. Why are you bringing these guys and why are you cutting Kobe Buffkin if this is a rebuild? If this is a rebuild year, then you want to play Kobe Buffkin because maybe he's good. Jalen Wilson turns 25 in a week, right? Tyrese Martin's 26 to 27. He turns 27 later in the season. We already know what they are, and it's not pretty. I don't know what Kobe Buffkin is. Maybe he sucks. I don't know. But then, like you just traded for him for what reason? To get a 2nd-round pick? Like this is not worth it.
Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Gary and Connor right here with you guys on the show. Questions, comments, thoughts. Throw all of those in the chat. We are gonna get to those. We want to hear what you guys have to say. Want to hear your thoughts on the team? So load all of those up in the chat. Be sure you were subscribed to both of our channels. BK Nothing But Nets podcast, the Brooklyn Boys Show, of course. Jonathan says. So Sean Marks only used Kobe Buffkin's salary to waive to meet the minimum floor instead of giving him a real shot to earn a role and keeping Wilson. Makes no sense. They completely botched the whole salary thing to begin with. Like if they literally just gave Cam Thomas like $5 million more on his deal instead of forcing him to take the qualifying offer, they would have reached the floor. If they made a move on any role player who could potentially provide any sort of value this year, Gary, they would have reached the floor. It's just Sean Marks doing Sean Marks things at its finest.
Yeah. Lavernius Calls just became a Jacksonville police officer. Shout out Lavernius Calls. Sorry. Someone texted me. I had to look at it real quick.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday.
What is this? The whole thing was botched. Like this Buffkin, like that's why someone needs to sit him down and just have him explain, like, what is your train of thought here? Explain to me what you're thinking here when you do this, right? Like, this is like when you sit down your fighter and you're like, what are you doing? Like, here's the tape. What were you thinking when you did this? So it's like, just explain to me, Sean Marks, what you're doing here. Like, explain to me your line of thinking. Because I really don't think there is one. Like, I don't think any of this is thought out. I don't think any of this is rational. I think this is all just on the fly. Like, all right, let's do this. Because none of it makes any sense. Keeping Jalen Wilson and cutting Kobe Buffkin, who you just traded for, makes 0 sense. Wilson's contract's not guaranteed. Buffkin did, and it's not. It's $5 million. It's not. It's not pennies. It's not nothing. It's close to what you're paying Cam Thomas.
I mean, this team had to burn money, like you said last night, Gary, to literally try to reach the floor. They were signing G Leaguers and waiving them to create $85,000 worth of dead cap. Like, yeah. Josiah literally, imagine being just like a random G League free agent and getting a call from the Nets, someone who's probably, living in an apartment in the middle of the country and trying to find a job outside of basketball. And it's Josiah saying, hey, Terry, we're going to pay you $115,000 for you to sign a contract and never have to do anything. That sound like a deal?
Absolutely. All right, yeah, might as well take it. But, like, why are we doing this, though? Like, this is – and then you're going to go ask the NBA, can we get one of the top 3 picks in the draft? Can you send us Darren Peterson? Can we – no. Of course you cannot. Like, look at this is why Washington doesn't pick 1 or 2, right? They tried it once with John Wall. It was a terrible disaster. Never again. This is why San Antonio picks the top couple of picks every year, because they know what they're doing. The Nets aren't going to get Darren
Washington
Peters.
Washington, at least there looks like there's light at the end of the tunnel. Now,
Yeah,
Washington,
they're such a bad organization. Like,
I was about to say, they're like the Jets of the NBA. They're a terrible organization, but like at least there's a clear vision there with them. Like, all right, we have Chris Middleton, we have all these vets. We're gonna have $90 million in cap space next offseason to add a bunch of role players. We're gonna be picking in the top 3. We have Trey Johnson, we have Bub Carrington, we have a promising future. We have guys here we could build up. We have Bilal Coulibaly. Like, there are foundational pieces there. I want to ask you this: who's better, the Wizards or the Nets, right now today?
Roster wise,
yeah,
definitely Washington. And Dylan loves their roster. I think their roster sucks, but their roster is better than ours. Like, their roster is not nearly our roster is by far. It's one of the worst rosters I've ever seen. It really is. Like, there is nothing on this roster, especially when you know that Cam Thomas ain't going to make it through the season. So take Cam Thomas out. Look at the rest of the roster. It's MPJ. It's brutal. It's Michael Porter Jr. and a bunch of preschoolers.
AAU players. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's this roster. It's just, and it's the roster decisions as well. That's what annoys me. Like, the roster. If we were calling the shots, Gary, the roster would be more talented than we're giving it credit for. Let's be honest. It'd be more talented than we're giving it credit for. You wanted Kuminga, right?
I did. I wanted Kuminga. I wanted Kuminga in a real way. Like, let's go give that. Well, you guys don't want to bring him back. We got plenty of cap space. Let's go make a real offer. Let's go make a 3-year, $75 million offer to Kuminga. Let's see what he says. And if Golden State matches it, they can't. I mean, they could, but it's going to cripple what they're trying to do. They could try to sign him and then try to trade him in a package to get Giannis, which is what they're trying to do. Okay, maybe. But if they can't do that, now they're stuck paying Kuminga $75 million for the $25 million per for the next 3 years. I don't know that they can roll the dice that way. So now you got Kuminga, a guy that I think has all-star potential, on a really good deal because he's underpaid. You're the only team with cap space, and instead we did nothing.
Gary, I'll ask you this: I'm going to the game on Friday night. I need some jersey advice from you. So there are 2 options. I mean, I could wear a Cam Thomas jersey. I'm not wearing a Cam Thomas jersey, though, after he just scammed my organization this offseason.
We'll talk about that. I don't think he did, but go ahead. We'll start with your question, and we'll get to that.
Interesting. My question is, do I wear a number 22, a real Day'Ron Sharpe jersey, or do I wear a number 14 Drake Powell jersey?
Oh, boy. People are going to look at – well, I don't know if the average Nets fan, if I said what number does Drake Powell wear, I don't think they know. Well, you know and I know, but I don't think the average person knows because he hasn't played yet. Well, he played 1 preseason game, right?
Yes.
So there's that. I would wear the Sharpe jersey. I think just the Day'Ron Sharpe, that's an awesome jersey. I think that's a great jersey.
Interesting.
I would wear that.
So I'm still considering. Your advice certainly helps. Yes, I see people in the chat. I know Drake Powell was not number 14, so it was my birthday this summer. And my mom asked me, she goes, "What net jersey do you want for your birthday?" And it was literally 2 days before numbers came out. So I was like, "Oh, I'd love a Drake Powell jersey because he's my favorite draft pick. So I'd love a Drake Powell jersey." He said, "All right, great. What number does he wear?" And again, this was the day before, the 2 days before numbers came out.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna assume he's wearing because it was before they acquired Terrence Mann. I'm just gonna assume he's wearing the number he wore in college, which was 14. 2 days later, after the jersey had already been purchased, comes out he's wearing number 4. Now, the interesting part is I could wear that number 4 Drake Powell jersey, 14 Drake Powell jersey, and hopefully I can meet him near the tunnel before the game and tell him the story, and maybe he can sign the number 14 jersey, which could be cool. But I agree, Day'Ron Sharpe jersey is a killer. The double 2 on the back. I was trying to go for something unique, but I was like, there's no player who's worthy.
Here's an underrated jersey. 88 Trey. I don't know. Whenever I see I see that jersey, look, I'm going to wait a little bit to make sure he doesn't suck. If he does suck, I'm not going to get it. But if he's decent, I'm wearing a Tony Adams jersey. Bad call on that. If Trey doesn't suck, I'm definitely getting an 88 Trey jersey because 88 just looks like a cool number. Like, that's a cool number. So
it's like a tight end. It's like a tight end number. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, let's see where we are. In the chat, Rashad talking about Bufkin. Maybe he's just garbage. Player says, like I said when I got here, he is garbage. Talking about Kobe Bufkin, which is an interesting take there. Players.
Okay, how is Jalen Wilson? How is Tyrese Martin? Are they superstars? Are they rotation?
That's my counter. That's my counter to everything. Like, you got to look at the confines of which the Nets are kind of facilitating these contracts and working with it. They're not the most talented roster in the league. Claude says, high character will always play a part in deciding a player's value. We've seen it that players didn't stay in the NBA long that lacked not enough of it. But, like, okay, you talk about high character guys. Like, these guys aren't NBA players at the end of the day. Let's come to that conclusion.
My point. Yes.
Tim Tebow, like you mentioned, your Tim Tebow comp. Sorry to cut you off. Same thing with Josh McCown. Like, those guys, terrible NFL players, incredible coaches. Like, maybe Jalen Wilson's a good coach. He's not an NBA player, and I'm not using a roster spot on him.
Agreed. Yes, there are enough. Like, guys, of all the people in the world who play basketball, there's 450 NBA spots. 450. I can find a good guy who's also good at basketball. Okay, of all the people who play basketball, I can find a guy who's better at basketball and a good character guy who's better than Jalen Wilson. Like, it's not like it's hard to find these guys. There are plenty of people who would kill for an opportunity to be on the Brooklyn Nets, who are good guys. Like, he's a good guy. It's not enough of an argument for me to give him a roster spot. There are plenty of good guys out there.
Absolutely. I have a quick question, actually. It's kind of off topic. Malik Beasley, excuse me. Do you know if he was cleared of his charges? I know he was a free agent.
Yeah, he's cleared. He's good. He's good. It wasn't that it was clear that they weren't pursuing anything. So he's good. Okay.
He's still a free agent, right?
Malik Beasley. He's not on any team for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to roll the dice on that.
Like, yeah, same. Like, this guy's a good NBA player. He can defend. He gives you that two-way versatility. Like, I really, really like him. He's cleared of charges. Like, that's obviously too late now. But, like, how about you spend the money on getting that and bringing in a guy like Malik Beasley over burning money on these G Leaguers? Like, come on, guys.
And he can play some bets with Michael Porter Jr.'s little brother.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good take. MPJ, by the way, I don't think I got your thoughts on this. Thoughts on the off-court distractions?
He won the offseason, that's for sure. Michael Porter Jr. won the offseason. Michael Porter. I mentioned this on my podcast. New York City probably ain't going to be the right place for him. Like, and I say this with all due respect because I homeschool my kids. I try to shelter my kids from a lot of things. You can see he was a homeschool kid from a very small town, Christian parents, just like me, who sheltered him. And now you throw him out in Brooklyn in the middle of New York City. It's like, oh, boy. Like, just stop talking. Just stop. Like, if I were the Nets, I deactivate his Instagram, his YouTube channel. No. Stop. Just stop, right? This is not, and I get it. He hates driving, and he's spending like $10,000 a day on Uber. Like, oh, he's making $30 million, so I guess it's okay. But this is the city itself. I think he's a hell of a player, and I love the trade. It's like, this is not the best move for him. Maybe he should go live out in Jersey like Gerald Wallace did, and we'll just commute him in every day. Like, this is not the best move for him. Living here, the city, the media, they're gonna eat him apart. I'm telling you right now. Like, it's a good thing the Nets are bad because they're not really gonna care. If the Nets were good, the media would go all. If like he played for the Knicks, the media would eat him alive.
And the Knicks are like such a PC, I think, like modern organization where like they never roster a guy like that. So the Nets are kind of like the hardcore, hard-nosed organization where they don't.
Well, the Knicks can't because, like I said, the Knicks get all the media attention. The media would eat that guy apart. The New York media would like. You think Aaron Glenn snaps at him? Aaron Glenn played here, right? He knows what he's getting into. Michael Porter Jr. would crumble if he was, if the Nets were really good and competitive and the media cared about him, they would break him.
Think even when the Nets were, had KD, Kyrie, the big three, they had more media attention, sure, but like it was never near the caliber of
it's the Knicks, it's Madison Square Garden, it's Midtown Manhattan, it's a Knicks city by far. Like that's what it is.
Most definitely. Eldor says Buffkin would have taken playtime away from our rookie guards when I'm on the move. What do you think Tyrese Martin's gonna take from? What do you think Jalen Wilson's gonna take from? They're all taking.
There's no upside in those guys. Maybe there's upside in Buffkin. Let's find out. We haven't found out. Jalen Wilson played more minutes than anyone in the Brooklyn Nets uniform last year, so we know what he is, and it ain't pretty. So why not give the minutes to Buffkin?
Agreed. Thoughts on the comment here of Jovan saying Jalen Wilson is a role player.
Not on a good team.
I don't think he's
not on a good team.
Yeah.
I don't really like. I think there are 450 people in this world who are better at basketball than Jalen Wilson. That's what I would say.
I entirely agree. I think there are a ton of players who I like. I can Jalen Wilson, not a rosterable guy. Tyrese Martin. What is Tyrese Martin? Like Jalen Wilson, at least you could sell me on the rebounding and somewhat, being able to play defense. Like Martin, I don't even get what you're trying to sell me on.
He can shoot a little bit, but probably below average, right? When you look at his numbers, they're really not that good. He can handle the ball a little bit, but probably below average for an NBA guard, right? I don't know I get fighters like this in front of me all the time. Like, you gotta watch the tape of my fight. I watch like, what am I looking at here? Why do I like this guy? That's how I look at Tyrese Martin, because he had a 30-something point game once against who was it, Phoenix? That's why, or Golden State, or who did he blow up against?
He's Phoenix. Noah, I remember this. I vividly remember this game. It was like his Nets debut. Noah Eagle was calling the game, and it was like this huge thing.
This is why we're keeping him, because he blew up one game in November of last year. It's like I don't want to. I don't see anything noteworthy of Tyrese Martin. Like, why is he in the NBA? What is his skill set that puts him in the NBA? Again, there's only 450 people on the face of the earth who play in the NBA. Why is he one of them?
Agreed. I will say this. I mentioned Noah Eagle there. We've heard the broadcast dilemma with the Nets. Ian and Noah actually are expected to only call 10 to 15 games this year. Thoughts there?
Ian is great. Noah, I can't stand. So I have mixed feelings on that.
I'm sure Noah Eagle is an incredible person. I'm not a Noah Eagle fan. I'll say that. I respect his work ethic. I think he does a great job. I'm way higher on Ian. I just think like the tone that Ian comes up with and how quick-witted he is. Like some of these calls that he'll have and like how quick he is. Noah, it just like reminds me too much of Ian. Like I like play-by-play announcers for them being unique. He reminds me way too much of Ian. And honestly, I think the Nets don't deserve the broadcast crew they have. They have an incredible broadcast crew. Like
they do.
With Ryan Rucco, Sarah Kustok, Megan Triplett, Michael Grady was great when he was with the
he's Minnesota. He's
Minnesota, and he literally just got named a part of the Amazon coverage as well. So he's really
shout out. Yeah, he was good when they used. He was good.
For sure. Even that guy Justin Shackhill, I think, does a solid job. I enjoyed Tim Capstraw doing color last game. And Carino, I think Chris Carino, like I'd have to think that Noah is going to be Ian's predecessor when he officially says so long to the Nets in about 2 years. But like, I would love if they could move Chris Carino from radio to TV, because in like the 3 or 4 games that he did last year, I thought he did a very good job.
Yeah, I like Rucco. I've met Rucco. He used to call boxing for the Zone, their preliminary fights. And we were in Chicago once. This is for an Usyk fight in Chicago. And he's in the bathroom. The arena's still empty because it's like the preliminary fights, right? So I walk into the bathroom. He's taking a leak. And I just go, Dinwiddie, pizza pies at home. And he like looks at me. And I said, how long did it take you to say Timothé Luwawu Cabral? Like, how long did that take? Right? And like, yeah, big Nets fan. So I met him, and I met him a couple of times after that too. He's a good dude. I think Rucco is really good. He gets a little bit annoying, like he tries to be a little too quirky, but he's really good. Like Rucco's really good. I would just roll with him as my primary guy. Like him.
I think if they don't give him the primary role in like a year or two, I think he's just gonna leave. I don't know about leave because he does a handful of Yankee games as well.
He doesn't want to leave the Yes Network, yeah. Like he wants.
But he has ESPN.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing all the WNBA stuff now and doing all like stuff at ESPN as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if he left. Yes, I mean I was talking to him last summer, I believe it was, and it was after not this season, last 2 seasons ago. He's like, yeah, I mean, this team has been. It was the day they hired Jordy. I actually met him, which was pretty funny. And I remember him saying, he's like, man, just calling some of these games was tough because of how bad they are. Like, this team is so bad, and they don't deserve the broadcast crew they have. That's like the one positive. At least we have good broadcasters. Like,
yeah, between the Mets and the Nets, we really do have good broadcast teams. I mean,
I think the Mets booth is as good as it gets across all four major sports. Like, those three guys, Gary, Keith, and Ron, it's tough to beat.
Especially when they're all together. It's all three of them. Yeah. I don't know how much longer Keith Hernandez is getting old. I don't know how much longer he's going to do this, but he's hysterical. He's comedic relief. And then Darling is the baseball guy. And then Gary is like fantastic at calling the game. It's such a hard job. Like, baseball is a sport that's boring enough as is. Now, do it every day, 3 hours a day, 162 times a year. It's like, that is a really hard, and Gary does it.
Gary does it. And think of this. The thing that amazes me most with Gary is he just pulls stories from 45 years ago in the eighth inning when they're down 13-0 and Luis Guillorme is in pitching for the Mets. And he's recalling stories from 45 years ago off the dome. Like, it happened.
Fantastic. Yeah.
He does such a great job. So shout out
baseball is the hardest sport to be that.
So much dead air.
Because the play-by-play guy, because it's so much. Yeah. It's so long and it's so boring and there's so many games. It's like, how do you do this? Like, you can't
basketball. I think basketball is the easiest. I'll say that
because it's so much. It's so much action. Yeah.
And also it's simpler terms as well. Hockey, I think, is pretty tough because it's so fast-paced. And, like, basketball, you can pretty much call every pass, but, like, you're going to get killed if you try to call every pass in hockey or every move. Like, you have to kind of pick and choose and fill the dead air there. Football, I think, is relatively – I say baseball and hockey are the two hardest.
I've never watched hockey, so I can't comment on that. But baseball –
how many hockey games do you think you've watched in your life?
I went to one in, when I was at college. The Islanders were playing something weird. I forget. It was the Islanders game at Nassau Coliseum when I went to Hofstra. When they played at Nassau Coliseum. I forget. This is 20 years ago. More than that, 22 years ago. I don't remember who they were playing. So I watched that. I know I watched when 2008, I guess it was, or 2010 Olympics. I watched USA versus Canada. And then maybe like two other games besides that ever. I can't follow it. I don't know where the puck is. I can't even keep track of who's on the field or the ice or whatever they call it. I can't. I don't get down with hockey.
Let's see. Player one says, what does Noah Clowney do well? I want to hear your thoughts here, Gary.
Well, he stretches the court and shoots well. He did rebound well and block shots well for that one stint early in 2023 when he came up, 23-24. Last year, I don't like the way they used him. Like, last year, he kind of played like Pete Klay Thompson. He just get the ball and shoot it like 5 seconds into the 24. It's like, I don't know that you're Klay Thompson. Like, I don't know, like, maybe move the ball, maybe put the ball on the floor, maybe try to make a basketball move instead of just launching a three. Like, his synergy tape would have been extraordinary. It's just him catching and shooting all the time. It's like, you're a good shooter. You're not that good of a shooter. You shooting a three 5 seconds into the 24-second shot clock, maybe not the best plan. But Noah Clowney, I would say, defends well and stretches the floor well. He defends the perimeter well for a guy that floor and stretches the floor well. You can't say he can't shoot consistently. He can. He proved that last year before the injury.
Agreed. I agree with that there. And they're not moving on.
Oh, player one's a Knicks fan, isn't he? If I get the wrong player,
I'm not familiar with player one, so
okay. I think player one's a Knicks fan.
I see a comment here from Down Under Dunker. It says, will CT be moved, or are we just going to play him and let him walk? It makes absolutely no sense to play him. Well, I asked actually Jake Fisher about this 3 days ago, and he told me, quote, I haven't thought about him, Cam Thomas, as someone who would get traded this year, because when you talk to front office executives, they're not really interested in Cam for what he does. I don't think there's really a ton of interest there. The Nets aren't trading him. They botched the situation. They're moving on. Bottom line.
I said months ago that they shouldn't even offer him the qualifying offer. This is what you're going to do. there's no point in bringing him back. You're trying to trade him for a 2 or 2 2s. It's not. This is not worth the trouble, right? Like you could have done something with that money. This is a disaster. Like this Cam Thomas, if you didn't want him, you should have just let him walk. He could have signed somewhere else. He could have found out the hard way what his value is in today's market when no one else really offered him anything better than that. There's no need to bring him back. All he's going to do now is help you win meaningless games, right? Which you don't want to do, says your owner, A. And B, he's just going to take minutes away from Traore and Drake Powell, and he's going to take minutes away from the guys you want to develop when he has no long-term fit here. This is what I mean by Sean Marks. He botches everything as badly as you can.
Exactly. Verbatim of that for my thoughts. Thank you all for joining us. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Gary and Connor right here with you guys on the show. Gary, great show. Second day in a row doing this with you. Looking forward to a fun season content-wise. Can't promise the result will be all that promising for better or worse. But we will be on here talking about this team every day. So looking forward to it, Gary.
Appreciate you, Connor. We made it. We got through the preseason. We got through the offseason, got through the preseason, and now we're just couple sleeps away from opening night where they will. How many games do you think they're going to win? Give me a number. I said 24. What's your guess?
I'll one up you. I'll go 25. Nice.
25. All right. I got people saying 14, things like that. I think that's a little wild. I'm going to say 24, 25. We're all in the same boat. Yeah. All right, guys. You want to close this out, Connor? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I got you, Gary. Thank you for the time, as always. He's Gary, BK Nothing But Nets podcast. I'm Connor Long on the Brooklyn Boys show saying, have a great rest of your evening, everyone. And as always, go Nets, baby. Peace out, folks.